Your fashion had to show that you were fitting in, kind of.
Like everyone would wear the same thing, essentially, just in different colors.
There are people who care about their looks, but also it's a lot more normal to blend in because it's very homogenous in Minnesota.
I was always interested in fashion, but it started out with a very small sect of a fashion exploration. It used to be very just preppy, but after graduating from high school, it just exploded. My interest in fashion just exploded, and I'm happy with where I'm at now.
It definitely started with my mom. She's like the most fabulous person that I know. She has like the most amazing wardrobe and shoes and bags, which I would always kind of play around with and then get in trouble for doing. I wasn't really interested in the industry until I was 14. That's when I started my own fashion blog. My style has definitely shifted from what it was in my freshman year. I used to kind of dress very like skater chic, like a lot of Vans, and now it's kind of shifted to something more like, I guess, quintessentially like girly or feminine. Like I love pink and purple and pastels, so I usually gravitate towards those a lot. I like wear a lot more like skirts and dresses. Yeah, that's kind of how it shifted. And it might change to something completely new next year, I'm not sure.
When I came to NYU, it really allowed me to explore other fashion trends, because I feel like no matter how weird I am, there's always someone else like weirder outside, so people aren't as surprised. This Thanksgiving I went back to Maryland and I like brought a few of my normal clothes that I wear here and I wore it out. I definitely did like stand out a lot. Very much into like same prints with like two pieces. I wear a lot of those, or I'd wear a lot of jumpsuits, and I really like high boots, and that's not something you wear in Maryland, and which is like kind of normal in New York. But I think especially over the past 2 years, my style has changed to this awkward phase of like hype bay, and like I also want to look like I'm graduating, so like very professional, like awkward knockoff Madewell type feel, plus hype bay is like my style right now, because I'm going through this crisis where I'm like, how old am I?
Going to New York and NYU, I started getting more inspired by the the casual aspect of New York fashion. There's just something so nonchalantly like cool about New York fashion that I got accustomed to when going in NYU. It's like a runway. It's like Paris too, like the streets, the runway. So you just like, you're not showing off, but you're showing yourself through your clothing. That's why I love New York so much. And in the Philippines, for example, I think what was fashionable in my area is just preppiness, and I just became so consumed by it that I really thought that I was just genuinely interested in pink salmon shorts and like a button-up blue shirt, looking like tucking it in, looking like, hey, I do boating. Hey, let's go shopping in a, what's that boat shoe place? Sperry's. Like.
As a mixed person, I always felt like I had to follow the crowd. I think it goes back to, in New York, you can just be who you are, no matter what you are.
I'm getting clued.
And be whoever you want to be, because it doesn't affect anybody. Do what you want to do, because it doesn't affect, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, just do what you want. And even being in Washington Square Park, you see a lot of people who are so different, so unique. And I think in the opposite way of wanting to like be like them, you want to be different yourself as well. You want to stand out too. I think we've all pretty much changed and grown to celebrate each other's individuality, and just been very proud of how we look.
NYU, just by virtue of being in New York City, is a very open place, a very liberal place, and allows you to kind of experiment with your personal style and find out what that means to you and what that actually looks like without fear of judgment that you would that you might have like in a small town. Like I know I definitely experienced that. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why NYU is so great, because I think it fosters a sense of belonging, but also that you can, in order to belong, you don't have to conform necessarily.